She has grown not old as those that are left grew old, the royal watchers, the journalists, the charity workers, the prime ministers, the paparazzi, the ex-husband and the two balding sons, both now older than she was when she died. Our fascination with Diana, Princess of Wales, shows no sign of abating, and now Ed Perkins has made a documentary entitled The Princess, using only existing archive TV footage and some video material, perhaps inspired by filmmaker Asif Kapadia, who takes this approach, notably with racing driver Ayrton Senna, who was killed in a Formula One crash in 1994.
This has been the best thing to happen to the monarchy in centuries.
Did you get a chance to see her?
Yes!
They chanted for her, and he's taking second place.
A hollow and tormented marriage are giving the British media and its public little else to talk about.
Just give me 1 minute and I am out.
She's been pushed from the word go.
It's the media that's causing the problems. Leave them alone.
The sting of this technique is that now we know everything, or almost everything, about the wrenching misery that went on behind the scenes. We know, for example, how she was tricked into the famous Panorama interview with Martin Bashir, in which Diana revealed that there were, quote, 3 people in her marriage, and that she wanted to be queen in people's hearts. So now there is a new frisson and a new context for this public record. The editing contrives to give us new glimpses behind the curtain, including the breezy mentions in the royal wedding commentary of the impeccably loyal and supportive Mr. and Mrs. Parker Bowles. The problem is that this can't show us anything of Diana that has not been committed to the visual record. Most importantly, it can't show us her famously unpleasant but revealing feud with her son's nanny Tiggy Leg Bourke, whom she suspected of having an affair with Charles. And it's always amazing to me how some of even the most saucer-eyed Diana fans have no idea about this. For me, this documentary is more satisfying than Pablo Larraín's overheated and essentially credulous fiction fantasy Spencer, amusingly acted though that was by Kristen Stewart, who was not, however, quite as good as Emma Corrin in the same role for Netflix's The Crown. It is captivating and agonising all over again to see how dazzling Diana really was, how simple and spontaneous compared to both the stuffy royals, but also the secular celebrity class, and how instinctively she knew how to work with the press when it was still essentially sympathetic, but how panicky and dysfunctional she became when this same press became boorish and predatory. In the later stages of the film, when there is video footage taken by the photographers, we can hear them charmlessly swearing and jeering. Then, of course, there was the terrible crash itself, that extraordinary event in those pre-social media days when it was still possible to tell people the news. I myself told a Dutch tourist on Kensington High Street why everyone was carrying flowers, and I shall never forget his shock. This film conveys, albeit indirectly and maybe even unintentionally, how very exciting it was to be in London in the week between the crash and the funeral, the bat squeak of hysteria in the air. Here was the event that created the new verities of emotional openness and mental health in British public life. Diana left behind not just 2 sons, but 2 daughters-in-law who are almost eerily Jekyll and Hyde halves of the Diana persona. The Duchess of Cambridge has something of the elegance and sweetness, but not the charisma. The Duchess of Sussex has the dissenting energy and the scheming, but not the charm. Perhaps the whole movie is justified by the amazing human sacrifice sequence of the wedding day. Heartbreakingly young and virginal Diana being led into St. Paul's Cathedral, an event weirdly similar in its reverent unreality to her funeral at Westminster Abbey just 16 years later. That'll have to be it. Please give this vlog a like and a share on social media. Please do an ingenious lip-syncing dance to it on TikTok. And please also subscribe to this channel and leave a comment to say that you've done this. And also, please, oh please, buy my book, The Films That Made Me, an edited selection of my essays and reviews from The Guardian. Until next time.